Okay, hi guys, so I'm finally filming my natural hair journey video. Yeah, I've been meaning to do it for like a month or so, but yes, I'm finally doing it. So I think initially, like, I asked on Instagram if anyone was interested in me filming a video like that, and people said yes, so yeah, that's why I'm filming it. I wrote down a few things I wanted to like mention, so I'm just gonna go through like my whole natural hair history or journey kind of thing, and probably when I edit it I'm gonna like include photos and stuff. So I'm just gonna look at my iPad to see. Okay, so obviously when I was a baby my hair was natural. If you didn't know, I grew up in Sweden with my mom, and she's white, so she didn't really know what to do with my hair. Oh my gosh, I don't really like talking videos, it's so awkward. I don't know, should I drink tea or energy drink or both? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try focus. Okay, so yeah, when I was a baby, obviously my hair was natural. I'm gonna include pictures and stuff. And yeah, at one point my mum actually cut all of my hair off. She just shaved it because she couldn't deal with it. I think that's when I was like 5 years old. If I find a picture I'll include it as well, but I mean, I don't care, it looked cute. I was like 5 years old. You shouldn't really care about your hair that much. So yeah, then obviously I grew it back out. And then when I was, okay, I'm reading my iPad now. 7 years old. Okay, yeah, so when I was about 7 years old, I guess, when I started school in Sweden, was kind of like the awkward stage. I was really unhappy with my hair. Obviously it was like stressful because my mum would comb it and it really hurt. And then like she was stressed as well because it was like high maintenance and she didn't know what to do. So like I always wore my hair in a bun. I didn't know what to do with it, and I didn't know about relaxers yet, so it was always in a bun. No one ever in my primary school saw me with my hair out. I never wore it out. Yeah, and yeah, it was, I lived in a place in Sweden. There's only white people, so obviously I felt a bit like an outcast, which I was. Okay, so this is just estimates because my memory is really bad. I might be completely off, but roughly when I was 10 years old, the British side of my family, who obviously lived in London still, was like the Nigerian side as well. They sent me, my granny, she sent me a relaxer. Obviously my mom wasn't familiar with relaxers, I wasn't either, but I just saw the front of the package, and it's got, you know probably what it looks like. It's got like yeah, it's got like, you know, the kids relaxers, got like 2 young girls and 1 young girl, and the hair is like bone straight. Obviously you need to straighten it and stuff afterwards if you want it to look like that, but I just thought, because I didn't even know what a relaxer was, I thought, well, my mom's put the relaxer in, my hair's gonna literally just look like that, and obviously that wasn't the case. So let me just make sure it's still filming. Yeah, so obviously I was a bit disappointed because I guess it came out like texturized, and I don't think we even blew dry it afterwards. So that was that. Yeah, and then after that I think I relaxed it like occasionally, when, because also around that time, that's when I actually started to go to London like more frequently to visit my family there. And then I'd probably get it relaxed at the salon in London, but obviously I didn't go that often. I lived in Sweden, so it was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how often I did it, maybe a few times per year. And I still always wore my hair in a bun, always, all the time. And then after a while I started straightening my hair as well. That's when I discovered straighteners. So now I was probably, it was probably the same, like 12, 11 years old, and I was straightening it every day just to put it in a bun, but just to make it look straight. And it was quite long at this time, but then as I continued doing that, it eventually just started to break off, as it would when you're relaxing it and you're straightening it like every day. So there was a time when I went to London and I think I went to the salon to get a trim, and you know, one of those trims when they just trim way too much and they just ruin your whole life. Okay, it was like that. So I know I've got pictures of that, so I'm just definitely gonna include that here. So yeah, it kind of, after that I feel like it just never grew back properly, because I guess I was still doing the same thing. I was relaxing it, straightening it all the time as well. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, then now it gets more interesting. So basically from here on it just goes downhill. Is that downhill? Like downhill. Downhill. Okay, I'm joking. So anyway, yeah, from there it went downhill. Now I'm, let's say I'm like 15 years old now. I guess I skipped like 4 years, but my memory is really bad. So yeah, when I was about 15 I started travelling to London even more frequently, and now I would, well obviously I was here to visit my granny who lives outside of London. Then I started hanging out with my childhood friend again, my bestie, Chanel. I'm gonna include a picture. And obviously when I got to London this one time and her hair was really long and it was straight, and I was like, oh my god, what is that? And she was like, she's wearing a weave. So after that I was like, oh my god, I want to do that as well. So obviously every time I came now to London and I was with my friend, I'd go salon, I'd get it relaxed, I'd get a weave, and then like let's say I'd done that one time when I was in London, then I go back to Sweden, probably kept it in for about three months, which is way too long. And then I got like, I know I got pictures of this, I'm gonna include that. So then I got that look where I've got like a weave, cheap weave as well, like the really cheap weave, and then the regrowth is all like afro and it's not like properly attached and it's kind of falling out. I was doing that. Let me just check that it's still filming. Yeah, so, and then like every time I'd come back to London, then I just, so let's say I've worn it for 3 months now, then I come back to London next time, then I go to the salon, I just take it out myself, probably like drag it out a bit, cut it off, take out the weave anyways, and then go back to the salon, get it relaxed again the same day, literally the same day, and put a new weave in. So obviously that was very damaging to my hair, so it never like grew, like it didn't retain length since that time when I had that trim. So for all these years it was just stuck at this length kind of thing. So what happened next? Let me just read in my iPad 1 second. Oh yeah, and then when I was 16 I kind of had enough of not London, of Sweden. So when I was 16 I moved to London alone, to go to, why am I even saying this? Should I include this or not, because it's about my hair? Let me think. Okay, anyway, quick thing, I moved to London alone basically, and I went to a Swedish school. It's like a private school in Richmond, London obviously. And then now obviously I can get weave as often as I want to, so I did. But only for a year or so. Then I got into the whole, I guess I was reading more blogs and I saw the whole like healthy hair journey thing, but now this was about relaxed hair, so I tried that. I stopped straightening my hair, only done it like once a week. I stretched my relaxers for about 3 months at a time in the end, but my hair still, it didn't retain length. Maybe just a little bit. I'm going to show a picture as well of that, like the last point before I stopped relaxing my hair. So then I thought, this is actually a time now when, wait, let me see. Oh yeah, also before I started my relaxer stretches was because my scalp was really bad. Like I got, okay, this is a bit disgusting, but like I had like dry scalp and stuff and it would flake. So even at one point, the hairdresser, she told me I had like psoriasis, but I think that was a lie, because obviously it was just damage from relaxing. It was literally a reaction from the relaxer, but obviously she was supposed to put a relaxer in my head, so she wasn't going to tell me that. But anyway, obviously I didn't believe her anyway, so I knew that was from the relaxers. So yeah, that's when I started doing longer relaxer stretches. Oh yeah, and then now let's say I'm like, oh yeah, that was when I was like 16 years old. So now I'm 19 years old. I've tried to do longer relaxer stretches and stuff, and I said it wasn't really helping. It probably was working a bit, but it wasn't really helping, or it wasn't improving a lot, let's say. So at this point I was living with my ex, and I was speaking to his sister, and she had like nice relaxer. It was kind of healthy, it was kind of thick and medium length as well, and she was randomly saying, oh, you know, people go natural, I might want to do that. And I was like, oh, why would you do that? Like, as soon as my hair grows out, it turns into locks. Like, I would never consider going natural. But then randomly after that, so I was doing my relaxer stretches, I think it's because I just saw my new growth, and I noticed, like, you know, like curls coming out, and I was like, oh, my hair's curly. Like, I didn't even know what my hair texture was like, and I was like, do you know what, I like this, I'm never gonna relax it again. And that was it. That's the whole story, basically. So I'm just random like that. So from that day I was like, oh, I'm not gonna relax it, and I haven't got a whole like struggle psychologically, blah blah blah. I had to change my mindset. No, I just thought I'm not gonna relax it, so I never relaxed it. It's no big deal, to be honest, even though it's exciting to see like your hair, because I've never seen it before, literally since I was 10. But then obviously probably looked a bit different back then. So yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, and then so after that I started transitioning. I was watching loads, I was really motivated. I was watching loads of natural hair videos, and I was watching Fusion of Cultures. I really love her videos. Also I've met her at a blog event, and she's really nice. I think that's the only like specific one I was watching. Then I was just watching loads of random ones, and since then obviously I know loads of different channels now. So let's see. Yeah, so I stopped relaxing it in beginning of, like, let's say 1st May 2012. So that's 2.5 years ago now, approximately. And yeah, so when I was transitioning, I was wearing loads of like flat twist outs, like side swept to the side. I was wearing my hair in a bun sometimes. I think, to be honest, I was straight. I wore it straight sometimes as well, occasionally. I'm gonna include some pictures of that as well. I think the people who have followed my blog for a while, like, they're probably used to those kind of styles, because I was posting a lot back then. And yeah, then after a year I thought, because I didn't have a specific time and how long I wanted to transition, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was transitioning for about a year, and then yeah, I didn't have a specific time goal or anything like that, but I did think that I wanted it to be long enough for me to put it in an afro puff, so that like I knew what to do with my hair when I chopped my relaxed ends off. So it got to the point when I thought it was long enough, basically, and I didn't even plan to big chop. I just tried to cut a bit of my relaxed ends off, and I was like, okay, let me just cut everything off. And I did. I mean, my relaxed ends, so that was my big chop. But I mean, in hindsight, I didn't actually cut all of the relaxed ends off, because I didn't even do it properly. Like, I just literally sat like this and I looked, so hard to do that properly. But obviously that was what I was trying to do anyway, and I cut a lot off, like maybe this much. So then my first style that I wore back then was like the puff, and I remember, like, looking back now, it was such a small puff, like compared to now. Like, it's funny how you don't really notice your hair growing. So when I look back now, I'm like, oh my god, it was so small. Like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, I'm gonna include pictures as well of that. And what else? Yeah, I could still do that same side swept hairstyle. So I was wearing that, and then up until after that, like these days when I'm fully natural, obviously that was like 1.5 years ago now, so I'll be fully natural for 1.5 years now. As of lately, I'm doing a lot of wash and goes, which you can see if you look at my previous videos. There was a time when I just started trying out the wash and go, and now, like, that's my go-to style. I guess that's what I'm usually wearing, or the puff, but you haven't seen that in my videos yet for some reason. But I usually always wear afro puff as well. Yeah.
I'm joking.
And oh, I'm so like confused. Even though I wrote this down, why am I holding that? That's for my candles. Look. Yeah, my scalp. Da 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 da. Sorry, I'm so I'm easily distracted. As in, like, if you change the song, I'll be like, okay, lost my train of thought. What was I saying?